Have you ever felt like something wasn't right, but couldn't put your finger on it? That moment when someone asks you a question that seems innocent enough, but somehow sends a chill down your spine. It's like the air gets thicker, and you sense a hidden agenda behind those words. You know it's a trap, but you can't quite explain why. This is the power of manipulative questions. Questions designed not to seek truth, but to control the conversation. Liars don't just spin their webs with words, they do it with questions that leave you questioning your own reality. It's as if they place a veil over your mind, forcing you to doubt your instincts and your judgment. And before you know it, they've already shifted the narrative, turning you into the one who has to explain yourself. For centuries, philosophers have warned us about this psychological warfare. The Stoics, in particular, mastered the art of seeing through deception. They understood that lies aren't always told directly. Sometimes they're hidden in plain sight, dressed up as seemingly innocent questions. So let's take a deep dive into the world of manipulation, starting with 5 questions you'll often hear from those who are trying to play mind games. These questions aren't just harmless, they're strategic traps designed to leave you vulnerable. Have you ever had someone throw the words, "Why are you being so sensitive," your way, and felt a sudden, sinking feeling in your gut? It's a classic tactic, a wolf in sheep's clothing. At first glance, it may seem like a harmless question, a simple inquiry about your emotional state. But underneath, it's a subtle weapon designed to make you question yourself. This is the art of gaslighting. It's a form of emotional manipulation that distorts your perception of reality. When someone asks you, "Why are you being so sensitive?" they aren't really interested in your feelings. They're questioning your reality, subtly nudging you to doubt your reactions, your intuition, and your very sense of self. The intention is clear. They want to make you feel like you're overreacting, or worse, that you're imagining things. Think of it as walking through a foggy forest. The trees are close together and you can't see clearly. You feel something off, but every time you take a step forward, someone whispers, "Why are you being so sensitive?" It's as though they're trying to blur your vision even more. Soon, you start questioning if the path you're on is real at all. But here's the truth. Sensitivity is not a flaw. It's the ability to perceive what others might miss. In a world filled with deceit and manipulation, those who are sensitive are often the first to notice the cracks in the facade before they shatter. Sensitivity is a strength, not a weakness. It's your mind's radar warning you of danger before it's too late. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is the truth I seek." So ask yourself, is this person encouraging you to be better? Or are they trying to make you doubt what you already know? The moment you stop second-guessing yourself and stand firm in your perception, the manipulator's power over you starts to crumble. So, the next time someone asks you, "Why are you being so sensitive?" stand tall. Respond calmly. "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant." The more grounded you are in your own truth, the less impact their manipulation will have on you. Trust. It's a fragile thing, like a thread that can snap under the weight of pressure. But what happens when someone asks you, "You trust me, right?" It sounds innocent enough, even reassuring. But lurking behind that question is a hidden agenda, a strategy to manipulate, to silence your doubts, and to make you hand over control without even realizing it. Think about it. When someone asks for your trust outright, what they are really saying is, "Don't question me. Don't doubt me. They aren't offering the safety of earned trust. They are demanding that you disregard your instincts and surrender your judgment to them. In essence, they are trying to place themselves above scrutiny, asking you to trust them blindly because they said so. This question is not about you, it's about them. A trustworthy person doesn't ask for blind faith. They show you through consistent actions that they are worthy of it. Trust isn't a switch that you flip. It's a long, deliberate process of observation, learning, and evaluating. But a manipulator, they'll want you to rush it to skip all that cautious vetting and just leap into their narrative without question. Here's where Stoicism can guide us. As Epictetus taught, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. A manipulator's question is designed to shut down your curiosity, to push you into that space where you silence your natural instincts. Instead of rushing to answer or rushing to give trust, take a step back. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I being asked to ignore my own judgment? If the answer is yes, then be cautious. A manipulator may try to make you feel guilty for doubting them. But remember, your skepticism is not a flaw. It's your shield. Just as Marcus Aurelius advised, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. If they ask, "You trust me?" Right calmly, reply, "Trust is earned, not assumed. Do you understand that?" Watch how quickly the mood shifts. They're no longer in control of the conversation. It's a classic trap, a simple question that spins the conversation around, turning the tables in an instant. When someone asks, "Are you accusing me of something?" they are not asking for clarification. They are evading responsibility. They know that by putting you on the defensive, you'll stop questioning them and start defending your own position. It's a clever maneuver, one that forces you to shift from inquiry to self-defense. Think about the emotional undercurrent of this question. It's as if they're saying, "How dare you think I could do something wrong?" It immediately puts you in a position where you feel guilty for even asking the question in the first place. Suddenly, your own doubts about their behavior become the issue, not the truth of what you were investigating. This is where manipulation takes shape through the shifting of blame. Instead of confronting the issue, the manipulator deflects it, turning the spotlight back on you. What should be a discussion about actions and consequences becomes an interrogation of your intentions. They've managed to twist the focus from their actions to your accusations. It's a tactic that makes you feel as if you're in the wrong for simply questioning their integrity. The impact of this question is profound. It causes you to question yourself, to second-guess your instincts. The manipulator wants to break your resolve to confuse your sense of right and wrong. But remember, this is exactly what they want. They want you to feel guilty, to hesitate, to back down. In Stoic philosophy, we are reminded to stay grounded in our principles, not to be swayed by the chaos of manipulation. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The opinion of others is nothing. Do not listen to it. Stick to your observations, not the emotional response they try to provoke." When you find yourself in a situation like this, take a moment, reflect. Are they trying to make you doubt your perception? Are they shifting the conversation away from their actions and onto your integrity? Recognizing the manipulative tactics behind this question is the first step in regaining control of the conversation. This question may seem harmless at first glance, but it is a powerful tool in the manipulator's arsenal. Would I ever lie to you is a direct challenge to your sense of trust and integrity. It's a question designed to make you doubt your own instincts and second-guess your perception of reality. The question itself is almost a rhetorical trap. The manipulator knows that if they can convince you they are incapable of lying, you will lower your guard and trust them unconditionally. Think about it. The very nature of the question implies that you, the person being asked, have already begun to question their honesty. By asking this, they are forcing you to confront your own doubts, and in doing so, they turn the tables on you. Instead of discussing the potential lies, the focus now shifts to whether you have the right to question them at all. Would I ever lie to you is a defensive question that turns the conversation from their actions to your judgment. It's a clever way to make you feel like you are the one at fault for even considering the possibility of deception. The psychological trick behind this question is simple yet insidious. It puts you in a position where your own trust is questioned, not theirs. It's like an emotional smokescreen. The manipulator's behavior is hidden behind a veil of innocence, making you feel guilty for even considering their possible dishonesty. It's as if they are saying, "How could you doubt me? I would never hurt you." And suddenly, your doubts are replaced with guilt and confusion. This is where Stoicism provides valuable insight. The Stoic mind understands that trust must be earned, not blindly given. It is a recognition that others are fallible, and their words and actions should be evaluated based on reason, not emotional manipulation. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So instead of being swept away by the emotional whirlwind of guilt and doubt, a Stoic remains grounded, evaluating the actions and behavior of others objectively. When faced with a question like, "Would I ever lie to you?" the Stoic response is not to engage in emotional self-doubt, but to pause and assess the facts. Are their actions consistent with their words? Do their promises align with their behavior? The focus should be on observable evidence, not emotional persuasion. Recognizing this manipulative tactic allows you to maintain control over your own emotions and your own judgment, freeing you from the trap of deceit. This seemingly innocent question is often used as a tactic to avoid confrontation and sweep uncomfortable truths under the rug. When someone asks, "Can't we just move on from this?" it's not just an invitation to forgive and forget. It's an attempt to shut down the conversation before it has the chance to go deeper, before the truth has been fully explored. It's an emotional pressure move designed to make you feel that continuing to address the issue is unnecessary, even selfish, and that moving on is the best option, at least for the person asking the question. The problem with this approach is that it relies heavily on emotional fatigue. It's a psychological game where the manipulator is counting on you to feel worn out by the situation and ready to let it go, just to avoid the discomfort of further discussion. It's easy to understand why this works. Emotions are exhausting, and sometimes the desire to simply find peace outweighs the need for resolution. But in truth, letting go of an issue without resolving it can lead to a buildup of resentment, unspoken frustrations, and unresolved feelings. It may feel like moving on is a relief, but it's really just an invitation to bury the problem until it resurfaces later, often in a more damaging form. This is where patience and stoicism come into play. The Stoic perspective teaches us that the pursuit of truth is far more important than the temporary relief of avoiding discomfort. Stoics understand that real peace comes from resolving issues, not ignoring them. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In other words, true freedom is the ability to face uncomfortable truths, to address them with clarity and reason, rather than running away from them when they become inconvenient. When someone tries to end a difficult conversation by asking, "Can't we just move on from this?" a Stoic's response is to take a step back and question whether the issue at hand has truly been resolved. Moving on doesn't mean that the problem is gone. It often means it's been hidden under a mask of forced peace. Patience is required in these moments, not to force the other person to confront the truth immediately, but to allow the situation to unfold naturally and find a resolution that is rooted in understanding, not avoidance. Only by doing so can we maintain true emotional freedom and avoid the trap of repeating unresolved conflicts in the future. In navigating the murky waters of manipulation, the wisdom of Stoicism offers us a beacon of clarity. As we've explored, manipulators often rely on subtle psychological tricks, questions designed to make us doubt ourselves, deflect our attention, or pressure us into submission. But by arming ourselves with the Stoic principles of self-awareness, emotional control, and rational thinking, we can avoid falling into these traps. At the heart of Stoicism is the understanding that we cannot control others or external events, but we can control our reactions. This is crucial when dealing with manipulative tactics. When faced with manipulative questions such as, "Why are you being so sensitive?" or "You trust me, right?" it's essential to pause and examine your feelings and thoughts. The Stoic practice of mindfulness encourages us to question our emotions and not let them dictate our actions. By doing this, we can choose not to react impulsively, but instead respond thoughtfully and with composure. Another Stoic strategy is recognizing the impermanence of external pressures. Often manipulators try to make us feel as though there is no time for reflection, that we must move on or make a decision quickly. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom lies in our ability to be deliberate with our choices, to not be rushed by anyone or anything. This involves cultivating patience and the ability to take a step back before reacting. Understanding that taking the time to think deeply often leads to wiser decisions. It's important to remember that we hold the power to question everything, including the intentions of others. When someone asks, "Are you accusing me of something?" or "Would I ever lie to you?" the Stoic response is to remain grounded in the truth, to trust our instincts, and to question what lies beneath the surface of such loaded questions. By staying rooted in our values and our sense of inner peace, we can avoid falling prey to manipulation. In the end, Stoicism isn't about avoiding conflict or pretending that everything is fine. It's about staying true to our principles, maintaining our emotional balance, and cultivating the wisdom to discern when we're being manipulated. The more we practice this, the more empowered we become, and the less likely we are to be swayed by the manipulative tactics of others. Always remember, clarity comes from within, and no one can take that away unless we allow them to. In the intricate dance of communication, The questions we ask are often just as revealing as the answers we receive. When it comes to manipulators, their language is carefully crafted to lead you away from the truth and into a corner where your emotional defenses are weak. Take a moment to reflect: how often do we find ourselves caught off guard by seemingly innocent questions, only to realize, too late, that they were designed to shift the power dynamics in the conversation? The 5 questions highlighted in this video, questions like, "Why are you being so sensitive?" or "Can't we just move on from this?" are tools in a psychological arsenal that manipulative individuals use to create confusion, disarm their targets, and evade accountability. What they really ask is not for clarity or understanding, but for control. It's essential to recognize these tactics as they arise, not just to protect yourself, but also to regain your personal power. Now, let's be honest. Recognizing manipulation is not always easy. Many of these questions are delivered with such finesse and subtlety that they feel almost like casual conversation. But beneath the surface, they serve a specific purpose: to divert your attention, cloud your judgment, and make you question your own reality. As we've seen, phrases like, "You trust me," "right," are not about trust. They are about testing the limits of your loyalty while creating an emotional bond that's hard to break. Similarly, "Would I ever lie to you?" is a tactic meant to secure your silence and compliance, leaving no space for honest discourse. It's in moments like these that Stoic principles come to our rescue. The Stoics teach us to cultivate an unwavering focus on what we can control, to build mental fortitude that resists external manipulation. They also remind us that our emotional responses are within our power. We don't have to react impulsively. We can choose to respond with logic, clarity, and a sense of inner peace. When we practice Stoicism, we become less vulnerable to the power plays of those who seek to manipulate us. For instance, consider the concept of apatheia, a state of being free from unnecessary emotional disturbances. By practicing apatheia, we not only prevent ourselves from becoming a pawn in others' games, but also create space for meaningful conversations that are grounded in truth and respect. So, how can we apply these ideas in our own lives? The next time someone tries to manipulate you with a loaded question, take a step back, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what is their true intention, and how does this question make me feel? You'll find that with a little awareness, you'll be less likely to fall into the trap. If you found this analysis helpful, remember, awareness is the first step in defending yourself against manipulation. Stay tuned for more Stoic wisdom, and make sure to subscribe to this channel for in-depth discussions on how to build mental resilience and navigate life's challenges with clarity.